Hey everybody, in this video we are going to model and rig and animate our own butterfly here in Maya, and then we're going to bring that in to Unity. So I already went ahead and started the process. I have my butterfly mesh here, my butterfly model, which is just a plane with one edge loop right in the center, so a plane with two faces, very simple. For the color, I just went ahead, went into, I created a basic Lambert, opened up the file that I had of this butterfly ready to go. Here it is. It was already transparent when I found it in Google Images, but if it wasn't, then I would have brought that into probably Photoshop to get rid of the background, or we could have painted in transparency here within Maya. But those are things that I can show you in separate videos, I think. For this video, we're just going to focus on the rigging and animating process. So yeah, we have this butterfly. It's ready. Let's go ahead and just start rigging it, shall we? So let's go ahead and go to our front view here. And next, let's go ahead and go, we're already in our rigging menu, which is great. Let's go ahead and enter skeleton and then create joints. And then I want to make sure I snapped a grid so I can put this right at the origin here. There we go. And I can probably lower the butterfly a little bit. Unsnap to grid. That's more center-ish. That's better. Cool. So let's go back to skeleton. Let's go to create a joint. Gonna put it right here-ish. Doesn't have to be perfect at this point. Just right there. And then we can put a second one. We can snap to grid on this one. We can put a second one right here toward the end. Perfect. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and take our original center joint. I'm just call that center. And let's go ahead and take these two joints that I created afterwards. I'm going to call this L wing. And I'm going to call this one L wing tip. And we are going to go ahead and select the L wing, then select the center in that order. I'm going to press P, and that's going to make the center the parent of the L wing. Perfect. Next, with the L wing selected, I'm going to go up to skeleton. I'm going to go to mirror joints, make sure we're in the YZ. I'm going to search for L, not R, and I'm going to replace with R, not L. And that should hopefully work, right? Mirror? Yeah, there we go. We have the left wing, we have the right wing. Perfect. And I prefer having the right wing on top, so I'm just going to reorder that. Excellent. And yeah, there's our rig. Wonderful. All right. Next, let's go ahead and select our skeleton root, which is the center. Let's next select the actual mesh. It doesn't matter if you select mesh and then skeleton or skeleton then mesh. Just select both, and then we are going to go up to skin. We're going to go to bind skin settings. We're going to just reset these for safety. It doesn't really matter. Max influences, I think 3 is what you want to go for, maybe 4. Unity doesn't, yeah, just 3 or 4. Let's go ahead and just apply that. Apply and close. Let's go and close. Okay, good. All right. I think that's it. I think now the skeleton is ready. So let's go ahead and just select a joint here. We have our left wing selected. If I were to flap, yeah, it's flapping. And if I were to select the right, yeah, it's flapping. It's basically working as intended. Perfect. All right. Next, we don't really have to do this step, but I might as well show you since we're already here. It is the painting. So let's go ahead and select our mesh. Let's go ahead and go to, I believe it's skin again, and this time it's paint skin weights settings. Nice. Let's go ahead and select our origin. We have a nice hard brush here that we can select softer ones if we wanted to. We have the opacity at 1, the value at 1. I'm going to go ahead and just paint these two vertices, the two vertices here in the center, with the full 1. Next, I'm going to go to left wing here, and I'm going to go ahead and paint these fully, and paint these fully. And the right wing here, and paint these fully. That way, this joint here and this joint here completely control the wings, and these two don't. which is going to be better for us in the long run. So yeah, there we go. That's it. Painted. We go ahead and go back to our regular selection here. We go ahead and, yep, that's even better than it was before. We have more control now. And same with the left. Yeah, even more control than we had before. Very nice. All right. Let's go ahead and actually animate it because the skeleton is done. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the front view because this is a plane, so it's going to be better if we animate from the front view. Or actually, yeah, no, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it this way. I'm on 24 frames a second. I'll keep it at that. It's fine. Let's make the max 180. We don't need to go all the way to 300. 180 is fine for this. All right. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So, let's see. For frame 0, I think I'm going to have it be like this. Let's go ahead and change this. Can we make it 45? I mean, we don't have to be exact about it. It's okay. Yeah, that's okay. And let's press S to lock in that keyframe. Let's see, let's go halfway, which I think I want this to last. Do I want this to last a full second? I don't know. Let's see. Let's go to there, and then at 12, we can have the middle part of the animation where it goes the other way, which is at 39. Let's make it -39. Let's lock that in. It's flapping. Let's see if that's too slow. Let's see if that's too slow or not. Am I playing all frames at once? Let's go to my settings here. Frame rate 24 FPS. Playback speed 24 FPS times 1. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So let's play it again just to see. It's kind of slow. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to Windows. Let's go to General. Is it General or is it Animation? Animation Editor, Graph Editor. Let's bring in my Graph Editor here. All right, so let's take my animation here. Let's move this over, holding Shift. To frame 6. Let's take this, that's at 24, and move it over to frame 12. We can delete that. That's a little better. Maybe we might want to go even faster than that, but for now that's okay. Curves. Let's go post infinity, cycle. That way this keeps playing the entire time. Yeah, that's okay. I might want it even faster than that, though. I might want it faster than that. So let's go ahead and let's go back up to Window, Animation Editor, Graph Editor. 6, 5, 4, 3. Yeah, divided by 2. 6. Curves, post infinity, cycle again. Yeah, that's better, I think. We can keep it like this for now. We don't have to keep playing with it. For demo purposes, this is okay. But alright, we have an animation there, just of basic flapping. The next thing I want to do, actually before we do anything else, I want to go ahead and take this this right here and go to just the skeleton, go to edit, go to group, so I can create a group for it. I'm going to go ahead and call this butterfly rig. And this way I'll be able to safely move it around while it's still being able to animate it. So perfect. Okay, we have that, we have that. Let's add in some movement, shall we? Using the center here as opposed to the two wings. So let's go ahead and go to our front view now. Let's go ahead and Frame 0, I want it to be at the origin. At frame 24, let's go a second here. And let's move this over to the left side. We don't need to be exact. It doesn't have to be exact science. Frame 72, I guess. Maybe you can have it take a little while to get to the other side. And there we go. And at frame 96, it should be back at the origin. So let's go back to 96. And center that, and then we'll press S to lock it in. And so far we have this. Okay. And let's go to Windows. Let's go to Animation. Let's go to Graph Editor. Let's see. What is it looking like so far? Okay. Let's go ahead and make this infinite as well. So post infinity, we want to cycle. So that should just keep playing. Yep. Okay. And next, what else do I want to do? Oh, you know what? I can open up the graph editor again. Let's open up the graph editor again to show you something that we did in Unity animation. We can go ahead and get rid of the slow in, slow out. That. Can we break it? Yes, we can. There we go. Get rid of some of that slowing in, slowing out that we had there. Let's break this. There we are. And maybe we can keep the slow in for that part. Let's see how this looks now. It might be better with a little bit of slow, not too much, but just a smidge. So let's go ahead and there we go. Let's go ahead and do just a little bit, nothing crazy. A little bit. Let's see it now. That's nice. Okay, and we can actually get rid of the slow in, slow out for when it gets to the origin. That'll be a good idea. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's break this. And okay. Next, I would like to jump over to frame 12, and we're going to push this down to get sort of a figure 8 situation going on here. Next, let's go to frame 36. Let's go back up here. There we go. And four. Let's see it. Interesting. Let's go to frame 12. Let's animate some rotation as well. Let's animate some rotation. Let's see it. Yeah, we're getting there. I'm gonna cut until I have a more an animation I'm happier with. Okay, quick cut, and here is the butterfly animation all finished. You'll notice that I'm in frame 12 through 108 instead of frame 0. That is because frame 0 through 12 actually includes the bind pose. It's very useful to have the bind pose for uh, for characters and assets that you plan on have multiple animations to. In this case, there's only going to be the one animation, so it doesn't really matter in this case. But for overall better workflow and just better practice, it's good to have the first few frames be the empty bind pose and the rest of it be the actual animation. So let's go ahead and export this. Let's just take a quick look at my frames here. For the center, for the wings, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and get this out of Maya and into Unity, shall we? Let's go ahead and let's just go File, and let's go to Export All. And I'm going to overwrite this Butterfly FBX with the one I have now. And let's open it up in Unity. We're back in the white box scene from the previous videos. Okay, let's go ahead and just get this butterfly in here. Let's import new asset, desktop, there's the butterfly. Okay, so a few things to do first. Under rig, we want to make sure our animation type is generic, and we want the avatar definition to be create from this model, and that's good, so we can apply that. Next, we go to animation. We have this one clip here from frame 0 to 108, which includes the bind pose as well as all of the flapping around. We want to separate those two things into two different takes, so we're going to add to the list here. This first one we're going to call bind, and this is going to play from frame 0 through 10. Doesn't matter if it catches all the frames or not, just as long as it's just the bind pose. And the second one is going to be flying, because this is the actual flapping around. And this starts, as we saw in Maya, from frame 12 and ends at 108. As you can see, it plays the whole flapping around with no bind to speak of, which is perfect. We want the loop time box checked off for both. I mean, it doesn't really matter for bind, but especially for flying, it matters. And yeah, we can apply that. Next, we can go to the materials. We can extract our materials, which should just be the butterfly material, and extract our texture, which should just be the butterfly texture. Very quickly, we can do the work in here of applying the texture to the material. Applied. We can make sure we go to cutouts so we can get rid of the of that weird little transparent plane. We still got the back face culling, but if we go to sprites and default, we should now be able to see the front and the back. We can also change the color a little bit if we want to. I think I want to make it more of a... That's kind of cool, not yellow. So let's keep it like that. Okay. And that is everything we need to do in the inspector before actually putting the butterfly into the scene itself. Let's put the butterfly into the scene. Okay, so we got our butterfly here. Let's go ahead and just place it into the scene. Should already have, yep, the texture. We can see it from front and back. Perfect, because of all that work we did in the setup. Let's go ahead and properly size it. Go blue. I mean, it can be this size, but we want to actually be able to see it for demonstration purposes. So let's make it the size of the hand. Why not? Put it in front of the face. That way I can see this as soon as I start playing the scene. I'm going to put this a little bit further back. Perfect. Next, I want to add in a controller. So let's go ahead and right-click in the project panel. I'm going to import new asset. Actually, not import new asset. What am I doing? I want to create. I want to go to animator controller. I'm going to call this butterfly controller. Next, I'm going to go back to the butterfly where we have the animator component. I'm going to take this butterfly controller I just made and I'm going to drag it in right there. This is basically an animation tree. It's blank right now because we don't have anything in there, but we can add something in there right now by just right-clicking, create state, empty. From new state, we can rename it figure 8 because the flying is basically going to be a figure 8. We can go to motion here. We can find the flying animation. There it is. And we can just play it. And it should work, I hope. Yes, it does. kind of slow because we were at 24 frames a second, but we can speed it up. Going back to the butterfly, we can go back to the animator, to the animation tree for it. We can up the speed from 1 to, I don't know, 3. Let's see what 3 looks like. And perfect. Look at that. Nice and fast. That's what we want to see. More insect-like. Very nice. Okay, cool. All right. Quick cut after we got the butterfly all set up. You will notice that I made a prefab of the butterfly first and foremost, so I can just keep placing more and more into the scene, like so. To have a whole little gaggle of butterflies here. Got to raise them up, but we can put them into the scene wherever we like. And playing the scene, you will also notice one thing about one of the butterflies. One of the butterflies is moving around the world space. That is because I put one of the butterflies inside of an empty game object. I just created an empty game object and called it butterfly top node. And from there, I created an animation of the top node with the butterfly inside of it, moving around the world space, which you can see how to do in other videos. So this has been a video on how to create your own animations in Maya and bring them in to Unity for use with simple, fun little butterflies here, as you can see. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.